Alright everybody, we're out here in the garage today. Took some time this weekend to kind of take care of a blade that I'd bought. I got this thing right here off eBay not too long ago. As a matter of fact, I was talking to my buddy Doom Crew Outdoors one day. I found a knife doing a generic search. I found that, and it was a buy now, if you can believe this, for $65. I'm going to put what I paid for it up here and what it originally looked like, but I've did a lot of work on it, so it didn't look like this when I got it. I mean, you know, of course it's Stag and it's all there and everything, but it took me a lot of work to get it to the point that it is right now, because it was just, she's a little, someone had carried it with keys in her pocket and whatnot and sharpened it on a electric sharpener. So I'm going to show you before pics. What I'll do is I'll put it up here kind of in the left hand corner, and you'll be able to see what this thing looked like before, you know, the blades and everything. And of course you can see now, let me wipe it off because it's a fingerprint magnet now, kind of, but there is what the blades look like now. And you know, let's do it over here and we can put the pictures up there, you know, so you can tell the difference. And the bolsters, of course. But this is a 1997. It's got 3 dots on it. Got one to the left hand side of the USA and 2 to the right hand side. It is a full size 51549L Copperlock. 5 for Stag. Blade centering, it does have that, you know, where you can move it around or whatnot, but you know, she's pretty good. She's right down Broadway there, Big E. But the Stag on this, look at the pile side Stag on this thing. It is just phenomenal. Front side's good as well, and of course you got the offset on your Stag here. She's real fat on one side and kind of slender on the other, but we got some grippage on this side. But very, very pleased with how this turned out. I started working on this, oh man, I forget, maybe Saturday night. It's Sunday now. But you know, I took my time and took it all the way to I started on 600 wet and took it to 2000 wet on the blade. And while I was on 2000 wet, I went ahead and just used that on the bolsters. Of course, I kept the Stag taped up the entire time. But I also put a kind of a more factory style case edge on it. So we look, she is just shaven sharp. She'll take the hair off of you. You know, I didn't want a real tall 17-degree edge on it, so what I did is I just kind of mimicked what the factory does. But it just turned out so good. I mean, because I took my time and just went through my progression like I usually do. But and you can tell he carried some keys in his pocket with this, because it's got some dents here in the bolsters. And I could have probably sanded that all the way down, but those are pretty deep, and I didn't want to lose a bunch of material off my bolsters. So I just kind of, and then on the Stag itself, I was sending Doom Crew and a couple other guys kind of progress reports on this and how it was turning out. And Doom Crew a while back had gotten a Stag Copperlock, and he's like, take some of that mother's wheel polish you got and use it on that Stag. And I said, 10-4, brother. And that's what I did. And it just turned out great. And then when I was done and it was kind of just sitting, I just soaked a whole thing in mineral oil and let it sit while me and the wife went grocery shopping. And it soaked up all that mineral oil. So I'll probably put some more on it tonight. Just hydrate that Stag. Because if we look, you know, I don't know. She just looked real dry, but man, that right there, that groovy style Stag is just, you know, it's like this right here. It's just phenomenal. And speaking of Doom Crew, he knew I was a big chestnut fan, and I haven't had a chance to make a video on these, but he had sent me this 32 chestnut and this little gun stock chestnut not too long ago. And man, that put me up to 7 chestnut bone blades. And so I'm going to do my next video. I'm probably going to do a chestnut whiskey video and to show all my chestnuts and whiskeys together. I think I've got 5 whiskey bone and 7 chestnuts. So, you know, run through 12 knives real quick, kind of like I did my Stag. But I've been wanting to do that video for a while too. And when he sent those two, I was like, that's what I've got to do. Because I did the Stag one that I really wanted to do for a long time. But yeah, and while we're out here, you know, you got this one here. You know, I love this blade right here. I made a trade for this to Boston Blade Reviews. I forget what I sent him. Oh, the special build out Buck 110 and S30V steel. But I'm back to carrying this like all the time, and because Jo, when I met Jo there the other day, he gave me this right here. And I got home and I was like, what am I going to put in this? And I see my favorite knife sitting there and I'm like, oh man, no way. Look at that. I mean, it was just, and I love it because it's slender. You know, some slips you get will be a little wider. You know, like this, look at the width on this one here. And then you got maybe the width on something like this. So I was so happy that he had gifted this to me, and it's one with his maker's mark and handmade, and just a phenomenal blade. But I've been out here in the garage, you know, just yesterday after I got done working on this blade a little bit, we had rounded up some apples from our apple tree, and we probably had 100 and 120 apples. So what I did is I peeled them all with my single blade trapper, and man, it looks like she's been vinegar dipped almost. But it was always patinaed before, but now it's got a real, let me wipe it off here, because I put a bunch of oil on it after I did that, because, you know, I didn't want no rust. I had to wash it really good with Dawn dish soap and hot water, but she looks like she's been in the vinegar bath, but it hasn't. This is all from steak and apples. You know, we got a apple tree, and we've been she made applesauce and we canned it. So we're all about canning. We can all the time. And she said, hey, you got a knife? You come and peel these apples? And I said, I sure do. And I said, hold on. And I went and got this and went to town. But they also got the Ozark Trail. The Jersey knife guy sent me this one right here, man. It is, I've hauled it around all week cutting stuff with it. It hasn't failed. Good blade so far. So I'm loving carrying that one as a modern. And then don't forget about one RH Blades. Sent me for sharpening a knife of his. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I just want to show you this Stag piece and how it turned out. And again, maybe I'll throw the pictures up here at the top, and you can, we got to wipe it off again, because it just, again, I didn't use polish on the blade. I just took it to 2000 wet. That is how she turned out. It's not wanting to focus, but let's try this. There we go. So what I'll do is I'm going to put the original pictures up here, and just look at the difference. How she turned out. Alright, guys, that's a video. It's been a long couple of weeks, so it was nice to actually do something I enjoy with this right here. And this week I'm going to be doing some projects to the house. I actually started yesterday and did some more projects today as I was in between working on this, so it's going to be a great time. Alright, guys, I'll let you off here, but yeah, let me know what you think about this. Did I do a decent job? All right.